Ryan Heinz and Mike Triggers on Money 105.5.
Good morning.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on when you're listening to this show. How's everybody? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I am rocking.
I love today's topic. Own your day.
Own your day.
Become unstoppable in your day, in your week, in your month.
I know it's a great topic. I can't wait to get into some of the meat of it. Starting to enjoy the summer. I can't wait.
I'm debating right now.
Why?
Man, the heat hit the other day, and I was like, wow, I forgot. It gets hot. It gets really hot. And then yesterday and today, it's like it dropped down so fast that all the pollen that dried up yesterday was in the air, and I was having trouble breathing when I was out in the open. I had to go to a parent appreciation day at the school, and there was just stuff blowing through the school, and I'm like, my gosh, I can barely breathe.
Oh,
so
wow.
much allergens in the air. It was like, oh, my
Well,
gosh.
So, I'm down in the Walnut Creek area, right? And so, yeah, same thing. It was super hot. And then yesterday, it was like freezing. It had wind and everything. It's like, man. But I'm definitely waiting. I can't wait for the summer. I want to go camping. You're going camping. I want to go camping. I've been thinking about that.
I'd love to coordinate with one of our trips.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, I think we're doing at least one per month and then 2 in 1 month. And then we're going to do a 5-day road trip where we're going across country. 5 days of driving and 5 days of staying, so 10 days total.
Oh, how fun.
So we'll be driving about half the time, but most of the time we'll be camping, playing, stopping off at spots. But then I was thinking, man, maybe we should just fly into each location. Because
It would be a lot
It's going to be
easier.
crazy.
Yeah.
No matter what we do, the road trip is going to be crazy.
See, I have a hard time traveling more than 3 hours in a car.
Yeah.
Right? Not only my ADHD kicks in, but I grew up with a military family, and we were always driving to places. Like, we'd move around, and so it was always driving from Texas to California, Texas to Georgia, Georgia to Texas, and so it just I have a hard time being in a car for a long period of time.
I do too. I can only drive my max is 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I gotta stop every 3 and go to like a rest stop or get out. My kids are always saying, everywhere we go to a restaurant. That's like our vacation. And I'm like, well, you gotta eat. And if you're gonna be somewhere nice, you might as well eat somewhere that you enjoy the food so you can say, I went to that restaurant.
Exactly.
That's no fun. So you got to really plan out when you're going to do these road trips. You got to own your day. You got to own every hour, every minute of your day in these trips. Same thing with your life. How are you owning your day?
Yeah.
How are you starting your day? What have you planned out? Are you meditating? Are you exercising? What are you doing that you love that's going to make your day that much more spectacular, that much more, I would hate to say being able to put up with it. But if you don't, it starts becoming mundane.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to find a routine that works for you. Otherwise, the days just go by. Like our one guest said, minutes turn into hours, hours turn into days. So if all those minutes and hours are flying by and you don't own that day, that's going to be the difference between a successful person and a person that's easily stopped in what they're doing and hits roadblocks all the time. So one of the main things that we look at right off the bat is, how do you own your morning? Now, this works different for everybody, right? So some people are morning people and some people are nighttime people. So you've got to have one piece of your day that you own. It's for you. So a lot of people will jump up and they'll do the exercise thing right in the morning. A lot of people will jump up and go right to work and exercise at night. So you've got to figure out where that me time is, that WIIFM, that little radio station inside you, what's in it for me.
Yep.
You've got to find out where you own your day for just you, nobody else. My wife likes to get up and spend that time in prayer, in reading, and in her scriptures. So she has that morning time that she loves to do, where she puts that aside, and that's her time. No kids, no me, her coffee, her book, and she's there.
Yeah, I love to, wake up and kind of just think about what I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Right. And kind of reflect on, family, my kids, Gabby, my pug, Odie. I'm grateful for him. He makes me smile all the time.
Yeah.
Great dog.
And that's one thing, too, is like sometimes just sitting there for a moment and meditating in the morning, no exercise, no nothing, just meditation or prayer or even just gratitude. just sitting there. Like we had the guy on here that did the flipping the gratitude
Yep.
switch. He literally would stop every moment he could and be grateful for something and have gratitude for what's happening in his life. But in order for you to be unstoppable in your day, in your scheduling, in your business, there are some proven steps that you need to do. And a lot of them is owning your day. How do you wake up in the morning? What do you do first?
Yeah, and it pretty much controls the rest of your day, how you start your day. You know, if you're frustrated, if you're upset, you spill coffee on yourself, I mean, you'll end up, your whole day will be based on how it starts.
The other one day when you're walking into the office and you drop your coffee and you're like, oh, there goes my whole day.
Yeah,
Well, that's just a mindset, right?
yeah,
You could stop and say, okay, well, maybe I don't need so much coffee this morning, or I was meant to have a cup in a few minutes, or I'm freaking upset
yeah.
and my whole day is ruined. That's not the way to do it. So that's being easily stopped.
Well, and a lot of people get caught up in that, and then they dwell on it, which then creates this wavelength, this ripple effect throughout their day. And you just got to take a moment, and when something happens like that, and like what you were talking about, Kevin Clayson, on flipping the gratitude switch, you got to say, look for the gratitude side. I'm glad it didn't fall on my shoes.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't burn myself,
I'm
right?
glad that didn't land all over my shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Because then I would have had to change the shirt, and I don't have one. So so you can't dwell on it. But it really does how you start your morning, and you want to start it with something that's going to give you that energy or that impact or things that are going to get you going and keep you going in life, right? So, and we've got some amazing people on Facebook. A lot of people jumping on. Edwin's on, Jeff's on, we have Chaya's on, Gabby's on, Kathleen. So, welcome.
Thank you guys. Thanks for being on.
Yeah,
Hello, Eddie.
Terrence Finley's on. Some great folks on. And, for those out there, Steve Johnson just joined. Kevin Heiner just joined. Welcome to the live stream. And, but yeah, they're starting their day out right. They're listening to us.
Yeah, it's part of their daily ritual,
They
setting their daily
every
habits
Thursday,
up.
right?
There
Every
you go,
Thursday.
pumping you up for the day. But owning your day is very important. And after the break, when we're done today, we're going to kind of deep dive into some of the successful habits and really look at some key points that can help you to actually own that day to where you can step into the successful road to success. That's just the way things are done. There's always a pattern. So if you look at any of the top producers out there that put out these memoirs or small books or audio books talking about successful habits, a lot of them will start with owning the day.
Yeah, I think that's the foundation for anything is how you're going to own that day.
Yes.
I hope we're drilling that into they're getting the point that this is really the foundation for your success.
So after the break, we're going to come back on In the Now. We're going to talk about owning your day and the road to success and the signs that you can see that you're on that right path.
Mike Driggers, Brandon Heinz at Money Talk 105.5 In the Now. We'll see you in a little bit.
Welcome back.
We are back and live, and you know what? I'm owning my day.
Owning the day.
I'm owning the day. You ready to be unstoppable?
I am ready. I am unstoppable right now. I mean, nothing stops me, but I was actually reading through some of our notes from the show today, just thinking, oh my gosh, some of these roadblocks hit me as well. So sometimes I'll go by without actually being grateful for something in a day. Until the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? I'm really grateful this happened. And I think back, like yesterday, I was just really grateful to be there for Parent Appreciation Day. And the fact that I could see that on my wife and my daughter looking at me from the audience. So I was in the back recording, and the two of them were just looking up, and I was like, yeah, this is the dad moment, right? Not the father's moment. This is like the dad's moment. I'm there. I'm grateful that I'm there. And I stopped after I left, and I even sat in my car for a few seconds and just thought about a few more things I was grateful for. Just overall, just that one step that sometimes just gets passed by because you're not fully owning your day, right?
Right.
So there's always things that we look at and we know. You hear me say it a lot, having knowledge is great, but how do you leverage that knowledge to work for you? Yeah. So we want to give you some tips, The number one thing I always look at is what's in it for me, right? What's in my day for me? Is my day just taken up by the radio station, the clients, the courses, and then I come home and I put the kids to bed and go to sleep and I do it again the next day? Or do I have a piece inside my routine that's for me?
Yeah, one of the things that I know, and I stopped and I was thinking about this the other day as we were going through our notes for the show. Is I used to get up in the morning and exercise.
Yeah.
Now, I don't get that exercise in like I used to with so much going on, and I need to get back to that because I remember how I used to feel.
Yeah.
Right, I'd get out there and I'd start working out, and I'd feel good. Like I did something to fine tune my body, and my energy's going. I got my shake. I'm good, right? And sometimes life gets in the way, and we lose what we're doing or our routine to keep us focused and keep us energized so that we can be unstoppable.
So one of the key points is setting that routine in to have that peace you need. Whether you're a swimmer, a biker, you hit the gym, you get up in the morning and do the trampoline, whatever it is you're doing. So like, what was that one thing? The cellar size.
So yeah,
I mean, a lot of the coaches out there, they know, but just use these small little trampolines, get you up and going and ramped up.
Yeah.
Open up your vocal cords, get your breathing done right. So step one is find that routine that gets your body moving, that reduces stress, clears your mind, strengthens your body. What is it? It could literally be walking your dog in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something, getting out there. And I think what's important is also if you have goals and you have a purpose, you know how to drive your day,
Yeah.
right? Because you're planning it. But I think that's a major part to just owning your day along with some of these tips is that, if you don't have a purpose, you wake up, you're unclear. It's almost like you don't know where you're going. You have no GPS to your destination.
It's just a means, right?
Yeah.
I get up in the morning to do this. I do this to do that. I go to work to get this. I pay bills to do that. If you don't have a goal in mind, and this goal could be as simple as July 1st, I'm taking a vacation.
Yeah.
My goal today is to increase my gratitude with everyone I come across. So starting off your morning with some kind of body movement, and then setting your intention, your goals. And some people will do this during their meditation or their prayer. So step 1 and 2, having goals and meditating, can easily be intertwined. So when you meditate, your goal comes to you, see a clear vision of it, then maybe you journal it.
Yeah.
So most successful books I've read about success habits, a lot of them talk about journaling what you want, what your goals are. And a lot of them look at their meditation and then journal that afterwards so they can go back and read it even further.
Yeah, I mean, I do this, and I love this because a lot of my creative ideas come from, one's my goals, but just taking a moment to think, right, and meditate. Close your eyes and visualize and just relax, tune everything out. You can do this like when you first wake up. Just be aware and just visualize what your day is going to be like or your week or what it is that you're trying to work on. Like right now, we're working on some major training to roll out. And so a lot of a visualization of this training and what we're doing and how we'll help people and, what do we need to do to make sure we're getting the point to them. And so when you do this, it doesn't matter if you do it at work, take 15 minutes. If you're having, pull to the side, just in your 15-minute break, just close your eyes and relax and just focus on and visualize on what it is that you want to see happen. And you'd be amazed. Right?
Yeah, if you can't see the goal, how do you achieve it? So what Mike's basically explaining is you can do this at any time with a goal setting. You can stop for a moment and just close your eyes and imagine that moment where you're in this goal doing it. So looking into the present state and then kind of going forward to the desired state where I want to be at and seeing the goal that you want. Not talking about it, writing it down. Absolutely. Talk about it, share it, write it down, journal it, make bullet points, but then visualize it. Let your subconscious mind visualize the goal that you want. You want to open a new business? Visualize what the customers are going to look like. Visualize what you'll be wearing behind the counter, what you're going to say to the first customer. Actually get your mind to trigger the steps through the process of having that goal. And then setting that goal is a lot easier to achieve. Set it, achieve it, unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. What's funny is I challenge you to prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Like I challenge. I mean, honestly, just go out there and focus on what it is you want, and it'll start lining up. The universe. The one thing I figured out, like when I don't know how to do something, right, or when we're developing a course and we're trying to figure out a piece, for some reason the universe starts putting things into my life that shows me how. And shows me, and it's because I put this thought out there. I visualize it. I'm thinking about it. My body, the wavelengths that come out from it, and I challenge people to try and prove me wrong because it will. It will.
It's the quantum effect.
Yeah.
It's what's happening is you will receive what you observe for. Mm-hmm. What happens in your life, if you're looking for something, things around that topic are going to come in. You've got to observe what it is you want. If you're always looking the other way and the goal's to the right and you're looking to the left and you never knew that it was to the right, you've never seen it to the right, you've never visualized yourself in it to the right, then you're always looking to the left. You're not capturing it. You're not observing for the right moment. So let your subconscious mind see the goal. In your prayer, in your meditation, you can have what you want in life, but you've got to know why you want it and what will having that do for you. So visualize that goal and take that step. So step one was, energy in your body. How are you doing that? Are you exercising? Are you swimming? Step two is have a goal in mind and then meditate on it, prayer on it, visualize it. So those first three, exercise, have goals, and visualize, are the first three steps of developing an effective habit for you to own your day.
Yeah, and this goes right into it. So part of your goal is like your goal for the day. What is it? And if you've got this routine, you're going to create these habits, right? And then the habits from there, once they're a habit, they come second nature. You breathe because it's second nature. You walk, you run. It's all second nature now. So as you are out there and you're visualizing and you're doing your daily routines, it becomes a just instant action because it's part of your habit.
Yeah, it's your pattern. You've created it. I was reading the other day in one of those I think it was Fast, and a gentleman who owns one of the biggest clothing companies out there, like the apparel industry, he jumps up first thing in the morning, 5 a.m., jumps right into a cold shower.
That'll wake you up.
Boom. He says, my first challenge of the day is to survive that. And jumps in there and does it. And I was like, wow, I'm going to try that. No. I went from getting into a warm shower and then dropping it down to cold and then getting out when it was cold at the end. But I couldn't jump into that pattern because it didn't suit me, right? So developing an effective daily habit. I get up in the morning. I exercise. I set my goals. I journal. Then I go into the office. I go to Starbucks and I read. Whatever that system is that you develop, you've got to put a pattern together for yourself. Developing effective habits to be successful, to be unstoppable, is because it's just like a daily schedule. People come into your office or call you and they break your schedule off and then you fall right back into your schedule, right? So developing an effective daily habit of what you're going to do and leaving space for yourself, owning your day, whether you're exercising in the morning, lunch, or in the afternoon, giving that time to yourself, but actually developing a pattern that you can do over and over and over again.
Yeah, by doing this, you create that end destination.
Yeah, you do.
You're opening up the creativity side of your mind, and another way, and you mentioned this a little bit, and it's helped me, is take the dog for a walk.
Yeah.
Right, or if you don't have a dog, go walk the park for a moment. Just get a breather. If you're at work during lunch, get out. Right, get some oxygen inside your body, and help you. And part of that meditation, you can do it. You can think about, and don't stress about what's going on in your life. Focus on what is the possibilities. Focus on the possibilities. What's coming? What's next?
Yeah, spending time in nature, grounding yourself, walking around. I mean, my office is in a commercial building, and next to me is a call center. And I'll see the group of people come out every day around the same time, and they'll do a 15-minute walk, and they'll literally lap the nature what they want to call the nature side of the building, which is a picnic table and some trees and a little path. They'll walk that thing in circles 3 or 4 times during their break. And just a pattern, like there's probably 10 of them just walking in this circle, getting grounded, breathing for a moment, maybe taking time to say what they're grateful for, their gratitude, but just walking and breathing, and then come back and be more effective at their job. I do the same thing. If I'm hitting a brick wall, I'll just get up out of my desk and I'll either turn some music on and I'll walk outside and relax, or I'll just walk down to the picnic table and sit there for a moment and breathe. So getting back in touch with nature, getting grounded, getting air into your lungs, another effective step to put into your day.
Yeah, this again, these are steps that help. If you're just tuning in, these are steps that help you be that unstoppable you. Like, what's the best of you? If you're focusing on the negative, it's like standing in a fire. It's just going to hurt. It's not worth it. You're spending energy on something that you cannot control. You want to spend energy on things you can control and what direction you want to go. So then it's now standing in this, whatever it is for you. This is, the the light of or the energy of what you want, right? Maybe just the out in the wilderness and just loving life, or maybe you love fishing or whatever it is. When you're in that mindset, it's amazing what happens in your life when you're focused around those type of things. So
before we go to break, I want to reiterate that. So are you stoppable or easily stopped? You've got to figure this out. If you're easily stopped, these little systems, these little steps are going to get you back into place. Exercising, body movement, energy movement, having your goals set and visualizing them, spending time to meditate, prayer, and journal. Big. It's huge, you guys.
be grateful.
Be grateful. So step 5, just be grateful. Have gratitude every chance you can.
Yeah.
And what we stepped into just before that was step 6, right?
Spending time in nature.
Get out. Walk somewhere. Walk from your car to the Starbucks instead of going through the drive-thru. Breathe for a moment. Take a break from the actual pattern that you're in and make something that's a more achievable part of your pattern. So being unstoppable or easily stopped is completely up to you. Owning your day is completely up to you. You have the right to choose. And we're going to deep dive after the break. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining in. Love the social media interaction.
Yep.
In the now.
With Mike Driggers and Brandon Heights on Money Talk 105.5. We'll see you in there in a quick bit.
Own your day. Welcome back.
We've been talking about making you an unstoppable person in your day, owning your day.
And just after reading some of the social media, I mean, some of you guys are already doing it, but let's take it another step forward. So my brother put on there, I woke up, I took a deep breath, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Now go one step further. Wake up, take that deep breath, acknowledge it worked, and then have gratitude for something involved with that. I'm grateful that my lungs actually do work. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful that my children are all healthy.
I'm grateful
so having
I woke
that gratitude. Yeah, I'm grateful I woke up. I woke up to have that breath.
Yeah.
Another one said, every night I walk in after a hard day and I walk through my yard, which isn't very big, but I just walk around my yard a few times. Absolutely. Now take a step even further and think about your goals while you're doing that.
Yeah.
So when we walk through those 6 steps, just to briefly reiterate them, get some energy flowing. That walking in the yard, walking the dog, set your goals and visualize them. Meditate, prayer, journaling.
Which journaling's a big part.
Journaling's huge.
I love Success Journal. I call it a Success Journal because I write out everything from my day that happened during the day, and then the next morning I write my intention for the day.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, I write what actually happened, whether good or bad or anything. I write in there, and having a Success Journal, I think, is just brilliant to anything you want in life. You can reflect back on it. It's amazing what it's done in my life.
Yeah, it's helped so many people. Now everywhere you go, they have success journals out there that are actually formatted to log your days and write things in there, which means that there's a need for it, right? Everything is out there working for you.
So then we talked about habits, having daily habits around your attention.
Being grateful, having gratitude.
And spending time in nature. And then I think one of the other things, which I know you and we've always preached this, is personal development. Personal development feeds the mind. I don't care if it's a skill to learn or, if it's something that's not even related to what you're doing, like, watch something on how to create sushi.
Yeah.
I love YouTube.
There's tons of addictions out there on the DIY videos.
Oh, yeah.
Learn something new every single day. Just absorb.
Yeah, if you're in your car, that's University on Wheels right there. You should be plugging into some type
especially
of audio.
Your car.
Yeah,
you got a library of CDs and MP3s, and you get in the car, you're learning with Mike.
And you're picking up a university education with me. I just, it's take that time and feed the mind. I think that's critical because when you're feeding the mind, it's like a plant. It grows and it wants more and it does things and it's creativity and it just expands your horizon on life and you get more out of it. So.
Yeah, and this is kind of like one of the people said on social media. You're training your unconscious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your conscious mind is doing what you need done every day, but your subconscious mind is learning and absorbing and learning new patterns from your conscious mind. So just spending that time in nature and having that extra little curriculum for you, self-development, motivational development, just being around, and that's exactly what comes into the next step. Get out of the house socially.
Go hang
Some
out with
way.
some friends.
Somehow, some shape, Do it. You have no friends? Go meet some. You have tons of friends? Pick some to go out with. But get out of the house. Get out of what you're doing. And sometimes I'll say bring them to the house too. So having people over is even fun sometimes. Till they stay too long. Just kidding, Mike. Just kidding. But you have them over. I mean, get
What?
engaged socially.
4 a.m. was
Yeah,
too late?
4 a.m. is a little late.
Didn't you hear it? They're going to open up bars till 4 a.m.
Yeah, I
now.
heard that
That's
on the
what
freaking commercial
was like.
earlier. What? We don't have enough trouble with the 2 a.m. bar closing? Oh, man. Now there's going to be people on the road during my kids going to school in the morning. But spend time in nature, self-development, and then find a hobby you love and get more social. You've got to have a hobby of something. Some people, it's movies, TV. That's okay, but limit it. Make that hobby a block time. If you're building something, you're a crossword puzzles, whatever it is, that hobby that you do, you've got to own 2 sections of your day. One, what's filling you up? Is it swimming? Is it exercise? Is it blocked out time with your children, blocked out time with your loved ones? What fills you up? And then what can you engage in to remember that you're a person too, an independent person? What kind of hobby can you have?
Soren just put up there, never eat alone, right?
Yeah.
To the comment that you were making. But, one of the things with the hobby, I mean, you could actually turn that into a profession, right? Hobbies,
Yeah.
right? And we know a lady that crochets and makes about $4 million a year teaching crocheting.
Yeah. And selling her patterns.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You could turn anything into a business, but you got to find out how you're going to build this thing that makes you unstoppable. How are you going to become unstoppable and own your day? And I'll tell you right now, we're on step 8. Okay. We've given you 8 good tips to have. If you implement 2 of them,
2.
things are going to change.
Yeah,
you implement 1 of them, things are going to change.
Well, so think about this, and we've talked about this before. What if you implement just one thing a day? One thing, and you improved 1% every single day? That's 365%, but it compounds to where it's like 365,000 because of the compounding of what happens over a 12-month period. In a year, you're 365,000% different
Yeah.
than where you were when you started, right? Because of the compounding effect.
And it's just that little fractional margin that shifts things a little bit. There's so many stories of how just one little thing shifted my life. That one time I woke up and started meditating. That time I found myself, my spirit, I found my spiritualness. It changed everything. One thing in this little patterns of what we're doing, the exercise, having goals, meditation, prayer, journaling, developing these daily habits, gratitude, just being grateful every day for the fact that you didn't step on a nail when you walked onto the job site.
Ouch.
That nothing happened to you. Being grateful for those, having gratitude for what is happening to you. All those little things will change your day.
And your life, right?
Engaging in a hobby that you love. I remember for the longest time when I was a kid, it was all about snowboarding. Being on the mountain, snowboarding during the winter time, and skateboarding in the summertime. And then as I got older, mountain biking, and then motorcycling. And then all of a sudden you're married with children, and you're looking back, and you're like, I don't have a hobby anymore.
Find that hobby.
You've got to find something to find yourself again. And it could be something very simple. 1 hour per day with a kid. You have 2 kids, 2 hours out of your week you spend with them doing what they love, and that becomes your hobby. Being a parent becomes your hobby. But own something yourself. Find a hobby that you love. Choose a hobby that you can enjoy spending time on regularly.
Yeah. And then, part of getting out, right? Networking. Like Meetup is a great resource to go and you learn about. There's these wine clubs. If you're single, there's these single clubs, right? Just go out and network.
There's married clubs, there's life clubs, there's men's clubs.
There's tennis clubs, golf clubs. There's all
My
kinds
Little
of clubs.
Pony clubs. There's a club for everything you could think of.
Everything.
Whatever you like to do, someone else is doing it too, and you can find people likewise and network with. Now, this is huge.
Which also goes back to the hobby. Sorry.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
but-
That could be your hobby.
yeah.
My hobby is networking into new groups every month.
Or maybe you have a particular hobby like, building these drones, and there's a meetup group that's on drones, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just networking in that. That's the energy that gives you that unstoppable you.
We've had people in our courses challenge us on where their network group is or where their perfect influencers are hanging out, and we find them. There's a network group, an influence group for everybody. Now, the key piece of this networking, right, is to grow. is to elevate yourself into a new spot, right? So let's say that all the friends that you hang out with, none of them like to knit, but you're a knitter. Then you find a new group of knitters, and all of a sudden you elevate a level up in your knitting because now you're trying patterns that they have. They're giving you patterns to share. You're giving them ones that you've known for years, and you're growing just from the interaction. So Mike had said something a while back about a quote about you're the sum of the 4 friends you surround yourself with, right? Mm-hmm. So if you want to grow, add a 5th friend. Mm-hmm. Add a 6th friend.
Yeah.
Get the averages to grow a little bit. Find some influencers in your network group that'll help you grow.
Well, they'll stretch you. They'll challenge you.
Yeah.
Right. If they're better, I'm always looking for ways to hang out with folks that are better at something because I know that they'll challenge me. I want to get to their level.
Yeah, it's human nature to find a way to include that in your life if that's what you want.
Yep.
So when you're looking for these network groups, find the groups that complement what you want to go after. What do you want to have in your life? And then find those groups that do that. So that's part of getting out of the house, right? Get out of the house, get into nature, network. You could kill 2 birds with 1 stone and start getting into a hiking group, getting into a group that explores nature. Mm-hmm. So find out what it is you want.
Explore.
And explore it.
Improve your diet. I think that's also important.
Oh my gosh, it's so important.
Your mood. You ever see those commercials, those Snickers commercials? I love those commercials where they're like totally somebody else and they're grouchy and cranky, and then they eat a Snickers and then it's back to them like it's someone famous or something.
Yeah.
I love it, but it is your mood controls it. Your hunger, your diet. If you're not eating right, it affects how you are and how you feel, which then affects everything else around you, right? So I think having a good diet and to be able to focus on your health, you need that to be around, and we want you to be grateful for being around.
Yeah, I mean, the diet's huge. Everybody's different, right? Some people like a lot of red meat. Some people like fish, vegetarians, all the different platforms. Once again, none of this stuff works unless it's what you want. If you set these patterns into goals and things that you want, you're going to become unstoppable. Things are going to stop stopping you and start happening for you. You'll start to see the signs of success that you're on. You'll know that you're growing. Your network groups will prove to you that, oh my gosh, I've grown so much just from talking to your other friends going, look what I've learned this last 3 months. Oh my gosh, you did that? You climbed what? You hiked where?
Which is a good point, because one of the signs for success is willing to take risks.
Yeah.
Right? You're starting to take those risks because you're becoming that unstoppable person. You're getting out there and doing things, right?
That's how it's done. So what we're going through with you guys right now, we want you to take one of these and implement it. Take all of them and implement it, but definitely find the one that works for you and become unstoppable.
Unstoppable. That's the word for the day. You've got to take that word and say, how can I be unstoppable? What can I do?
How can I implement energy into my life, have my goals set out, journal in the morning, have gratefulness and gratitude for everything that I do, and start getting my diet on track, and then just spending time with nature, networking groups, whatever you can. Take these steps and run with them. Make something happen in your day that you own that day, and at the end of the day, you're thinking, man, success!
So we'll see you here in a minute when we come back on Money Talk 105.5 with Mike Driggers and Brandon Hines on In the Now. And we want to know how you are being unstoppable. Let us know in the chat on the live stream, and we'll talk to you here in a minute.
Well. So much interaction.
I love it.
I know right now, people are already thinking, it's hard to be successful. You're right. If that's what you believe, you are right. If you don't believe that, you're also right.
Either way, you're right.
You've got to find out what you want in life.
Hey, success is free. It didn't say it was easy.
Yeah.
It's free.
And if you look at everyone out there that's really got that long term, the successful people that are going, look at Tony Robbins. He has never stopped. He's been going for years. He's had these successes. But there was a long time where people were like, he's the motivational guy. No, he's the life guy. He's into having what he wants, and he knows what he wants, and he visualizes that goal. So how do you know if you're on the right track?
Yeah, so you're being unstoppable.
Yeah.
Right? You're starting to be that unstoppable person, but how do you know you're on the right track to success, the right road?
Yeah, is your mindset following the way you want to go? I'll tell you right now, visualizing that goal is how you change the mindset. Because if you can see yourself having what you want, then you're going to have it.
What's cool about that is when you see this, you can handle, and one of the signs is how you start handling a lot of the obstacles
Yeah.
in the direction that you're going, right?
Playing it safe is a sure sign that nothing spectacular is going to happen in
Exactly.
your life.
I can guarantee nothing's happening in your
If
life.
everything you do, you're afraid of to be uncomfortable, then you're not willing to take a risk to have what you want. What if you have to give up 5 minutes of something to have 10 minutes of what you want?
Yeah. You know,
Do it.
I've always said this quote: "Get comfortable being uncomfortable."
Yes.
The more you attempt and the more challenges you face and step out, take those risks, the more stronger you become as an individual, right? Your strength the stepping out of the comfort zone is only temporary, because what happens is you start to create a new ring around you that's your new comfort zone. And so when you're always constantly stepping out of your comfort zone, be okay with that.
Yeah.
Be uncomfortable being uncomfortable, right?
Be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, excuse me. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. Because
As your success grows, you'll start to notice things that are changing.
Yeah.
So we gave you all these little steps to implement. Take the ones that work for you in your life and implement them. But then start looking at it, engaging it, okay? So on Sunday morning or Monday, whichever one of you guys say the day starts, like I always said Monday is the first day of the week, but someone said no, the week starts on Sunday. Okay, well, Sunday is the end of my week. I start my weeks on Mondays because they never seem to end. All entrepreneurs have 7 Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back at that, if you're going to gauge it, you've got to track what you're going after. Are you willing to take risk with this new own your day pattern? Are you trying new things in this new own my day pattern that you're building? How are you looking at that? So step 1, have you changed and been stepping out of your comfort zone? If you are, you're successful.
Mm-hmm.
And your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between large or small. You get up in the morning and you brush your teeth and you go for that jog. Successful! Your mind does it. You celebrate. The same endorphins happen if you were to win the lottery ticket and win $5. The same little excitement happens if you actually see your success and celebrate it. So when you see the fact that I did something uncomfortable and made it happen, then celebrate it.
Yeah, and with something, reward yourself.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
Snickers bar.
That's one of the things that that's important too. Is that once you start achieving these type of success or becoming that unstoppable, when you achieve something, reward yourself. Program the mind with some type of reward. It could be small, and as the bigger successes happen, then you reward yourself with bigger things. But and I love what Soren put here, and he's in Mauritius, I think this is where he's at. He's on the live stream. He says you don't pursue success, you attract success. Become the magnet.
Yeah.
Which is so true, because one of the things that you and I know is that when you're starting on the road to success, you're starting to see these signs. You're becoming the unstoppable you. The concern or the opinions of others start to fade away. Like you don't care, because you're on a destination. You're on what you feel is right for you, right? And so that's one of the signs that you'll see as you're starting to break out and to be that unstoppable you.
Yeah, and the next step that you'll start noticing is that the ability to deal with obstacles and setbacks on the fly.
Yeah.
The more you attempt things, the more challenges you'll face. But in the old school days, my grandfather, his grandfather, everybody back there, if you failed, you might lose, right? My father-in-law used to say to me, you only have so many chances, but I never believed that. Being able to deal with challenges, so I live by the fall down 7, stand up 8. You have to keep going. So when you start looking back and you're like, oh my gosh, I hit that obstacle, but it didn't set me back. I am becoming unstoppable. Mm-hmm. Celebrate it. Celebrate the fact that you blew through that wall.
Yeah. And to that point, freedom from your past is another one.
Yes.
Right? And I love what Joel Osteen talks about, is that, most successful people, first off, before I say that, is that they never look at what happened in the past. They're always focused on the future. And Joel Osteen, as I was getting ready to tell a story, says, think about it like when you're driving your car. You have this big front windshield of your future, and then this little rear view mirror is your past.
Yes.
Right? And so you, as you're accomplishing, don't get stuck. A lot of people get stuck in what happened in their past. If you've had failures in your life, folks, those are just stepping stones to success.
Yeah, and when you're quoting someone, so Gary Vaynerchuk said, as soon as you show me someone the person who went back in time and changed something, I'll start dwelling on the past. But until then, I'm moving forward, Get out of my way. So you got to look at that as that you learn from your mistakes, you keep moving forward.
Yes.
So when you start seeing these signs coming through, that means that you're on the road to success and you're becoming unstoppable in your journey. You're willing to take risk. You have the ability to deal with obstacles. You're raising your standards with a clear vision of the future and freedom from the past. These are all things that you should be celebrating. You have more self-discipline because you now have a daily routine that you're going through. Now, here's the one that I love the most. When you see what success entails, you'll laugh at the former self. Looking at what you used to do, I used to be that person. And you hear it in commercials. I used to be that guy. I used to be that girl. But laughing at yourself going, man, I can't believe that whole week I was stuck on that. And as soon as I shifted my mind a little bit, I conquered it. And now I'm celebrating that road to success. So just keep looking at those checkpoints. What are the checkpoints that you know you're successfully growing?
And you're being the unstoppable you. What is you doing to own your day?
The Vishen, in his book, he has a comment, become uneffable.
Uneffable.
Uneffwithable. And when he says that, he's dead serious, because if you start setting these things and you have these daily patterns, then nobody's going to knock you off that goal. If you really vision where you're going and you journal it, you meditate on it, whatever suits you. There's tons of people who don't meditate, but they also relax for a moment. So get up in the morning, visualize that goal, set your day, set your intention, start going towards it. But my most valuable piece I can give you on today's show is celebrating the path to success. Every time you have a small victory, a large victory, a minimal victory, celebrate it.
Yeah.
Internally, scream out loud in your car, woohoo, whatever it is.
And that's critical. That is critical to anything if anything, is rewarding your success. Because you're subconsciously, you're programming your mind to understand what it is.
That you can achieve it.
That you can achieve anything. And when you start, anything, obstacles get in front of your way, it's no big deal, because what happens is in our critter mind, when there's an obstacle, it runs to the safe. It runs to safety. But as you become more successful and as you're pursuing forward, you tend to overcome these obstacles a lot easier, because you've got the feeling of success automatically programmed into your
you're owning your day, and these obstacles don't matter anymore. Bruce Lee said it best: be like water. Water doesn't stop for anything.
Yeah.
It goes around things, it goes over it. The more water that flows, the better it gets. It just keeps going. Don't let things stop you. So you want to be unstoppable? Set some patterns in. Set your daily victories. Explore them. Be comfortable being uncomfortable, and celebrate your successes. You want to be unstoppable? Celebrate every time you didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
So put these patterns into place for yourself, for what you want to have in life.
So we're coming to the end of our show. So listen, why don't we recap some of the stuff that we talked about to be unstoppable you, right? We talked about the one, being grateful, spending time with nature, personal development's critical. These are just components, and like you said, just one thing can change your life, right?
The one thing for me is, what's in it for me? What are you doing for yourself each day?
Mm-hmm. To make an unstoppable you.
Yeah.
What is that's happening? So, hey, we're here every Thursday on Money Talk 105.5 FM. So we hope you're tuning in. If not, we're on the live cast as well on Facebook. You can search In the Now or Mike Driggers or Brandon Heinz, and you can find the live stream that we do. And we welcome you to get on there and share your thoughts with us and what you're doing. So we'll see you next week. This is the end of the show here on In the Now.
Make sure to own that day.
Own your day. Become unstoppable you today. So my name's Mike Driggers, and my good friend
Brandon Heinz
here on In the Now on Money Talk 105.5.
Love you, honey. Love you, family.
Bye. Love you, family.